YouTube, Population Nation, back again after a long holiday New Year's break. Unfortunately, my plan was to make about 2 to 3 videos a week, but due to some family drama, my mum had an accident and has been really ill, and other things, so that's taken priority. Now, I would like to say I'm just going to play this music in the background. I'm sure you've all heard of it. The trailer of 28 years later. Now, this is some information that I have actually been aware of for quite a number of years now, actually. But it's only been a couple of months ago that it was sort of confirmed. A friend of mine, or an associate, I hate it when people say like Doomcock, my Hollywood spies, or I've got a source. It's someone I know who's worked in the industry for a long time. I mentioned him before. He knows a lot of people. And when 28 Days Later came out, it was, especially for a small budget film with relatively unknown people. I mean, Cillian Murphy, I think this is his sort of breakout role. He was pretty much unknown before then. Obviously, he had the guy who played one of the doctors in Doctor Who. He was also one of the villains in Thor Into Darkness. But other than that, relatively unknowns, especially outside of the UK. But you know, the film was made on a modest, modest budget, and it did very well, and set off the genre of instead of slow walking zombies, these fast moving, dangerous, mindless zombies. Now, 28 weeks later came out, and it was, some people liked it, and some people really did not. I was in the camp of I didn't particularly like it, to be honest. And I remember talking to my friend at the time about it. I believe we actually watched it together. But he was on about, because there was a different director, a different producer, different people writing on it, and whatnot. It had a slightly bigger budget, and the others obviously got Robert Carlyle, who was a much bigger star at the time. And I spoke to my friend about it, and I said, because he knew a couple of people on the original, and I said, is there going to be a 28 months later? And what he told me back then is they didn't want to make a sequel of 28 weeks later back then. Obviously, they were at the time waiting to see how well 28 Days Later did, and it did do really well, and that planted the seeds for them making something obviously they got were taken more seriously by studios and other people, and at the time they hadn't really thought about it too much, but they were thinking about something to do in the future, and how they felt about it at the time was they weren't quite ready to make a sequel to it. Now, fast forward to a year or two ago, and they've had a lot of time to think about it. You've got a lot of the people involved in the original back. They've gone through a lot of different sort of story ideas and whatnot. And I spoke to my friend a few weeks before Christmas, might have been a couple of months, and yeah, I haven't been able to actually make this video till now just because of family reasons and holidays and whatnot. But he basically reconfirmed it. He said, you know, now was the time that they feel that they've got the story they wanted, you know, because why not 28 months later? Well, they wanted something much more in the future. Much more time has passed. Seeing how humanity deals with this, not just in England where the outbreak started, but in Europe and the rest of the world. And I can't, you know, my friend never divulges much information, and he isn't actually privy to much information, but he has actually seen, and he emphasised this, he doesn't think he's seen the what's going to appear in cinema. But he's seen some footage of it, and he says this film is going to be completely different to 28 days later and 28 weeks later. It is set, well, 28 years in the future. A lot can change with the amount of people that have been killed off in the original. You know, that's an entire generation wiped out. A lot can change. I mean, if you've seen the old 80s, I think it's 80s, might be even 70s, but I think it's 80s, of threads with the nuclear exchange between Russia and America, and England gets set, and seeing how humanity declines into this can't say the word. You know, the world's devastated. Cults arise. People do what they need to survive, and this film is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but it is going to be something totally different. It's going to be a little bit thought-provoking, and I mean, obviously I haven't seen it, he hasn't told me much about it, but it's going to be a totally different thing. Like I say, the was it Alex Alex Gardner that wrote it, Danny Boyle directed it, but yeah, and a few other people that were involved. Yeah, this is something set in the future, but where mankind's sort of gone backwards a bit into this sort of almost despotic period, and just seeing how, like, like the movie Threads, how the survivors are getting along and what madness basically awaits them. As far as like the infected, what did they call it? Rage, how that might have mutated. Some people got immunity to it, but still, in this regressive society. So, to me personally, it sounds like my sort of thing. Something that sort of makes you think you don't know what's going to happen, which is one of the things about 28 weeks later. You sort of knew things were going to go wrong. They tried to repopulate parts of England, and you just knew that things were going to go to pot, unless things already gone to pot. And, well, that's all I can tell you. Anyway, people, thanks for listening. Can't really tell you much more than that. If I do hear any more, I shall perhaps make another video. We'll see if we get another trailer, and hopefully what I've heard will interest you, and hopefully it'll turn out to be right. One thing's for sure though, what a trailer. What a trailer. Anyway, please like, subscribe, smash some potatoes and all the rest of it, ring that bell, and have a good day. Thank you very much.